Oh, honey, grab your popcorn because what you're about to hear isn't just reality TV drama. It's a full blown emotional revolution that shook the very core of Sister Wives. Now, let me take you back to when Christine Brown decided she was done. Done with the emotional starvation, done with the manipulation, done playing second fiddle to Robyn, the so called favorite wife, while Cody Brown pranced around like the misunderstood patriarch of a crumbling kingdom. Oh, yes, this wasn't just a breakup. This was a cultural reset. The silent wife who smiled through decades of neglect, she finally snapped. And the ripple effects, whew, they were massive. Because let's be real for a second, this wasn't just about a woman leaving her man. This was about truth finally clawing its way out from under a mountain of denial, gaslighting, and spiritual excuses. The moment Christine walked away from Cody, she wasn't just reclaiming her life, she was exposing the fragile, hand-stitched illusion that Robyn and Cody had carefully sewn together for over a decade. And what did that illusion promise? Unity, sisterhood, spiritual leadership? But what we really got was favoritism, fractures, and the slow, soul-crushing unraveling of every other wife in that so-called plural marriage. But wait, let's rewind. You see, Christine had been dropping hints for years. The forced smiles, the awkward silences, the way her eyes would dim whenever Cody bragged about doing his best. She was never really seen. Not by Cody, not by Robyn, not by the viewers who were too distracted by the tears Robyn could summon at the drop of a camera lens. But once Christine spoke up, once she found the strength to say, "I'm leaving," the house of cards started to tremble. And suddenly, viewers everywhere woke up. This was the moment we realized the emperor had no clothes. Or in this case, the spiritual husband had no heart. And Cody? Oh, he didn't take it well. Let's just say the man who once claimed to be the protector of his family revealed himself to be more of a petulant child, stomping his feet when his favorite toy was taken away. He spun stories, threw accusations, blamed everyone but himself. And Robyn? Well, the queen of crocodile tears was right behind him, clutching her pearls and whispering about broken dreams, while conveniently ignoring the mountain of emotional wreckage she helped create. It was messy, it was raw, and it was absolutely unforgettable. What Christine did, it wasn't just brave, it was revolutionary. She cracked the facade, she lit the match. And as the flames rose, we all watched with a mix of awe, disbelief, and, let's be honest, a tiny bit of satisfaction. Because for once, the underdog got the mic. And baby, she used it. But what happens next? Oh, trust me, the real drama is just getting started. Now let's talk about her, Robyn, the so-called fourth wife, the game changer, the woman who waltzed into the Brown family with her soft voice, tearful eyes, and a just want to be part of the family smile, and somehow managed to flip the entire dynamic upside down. When Robyn joined the Sister Wives crew in season 1, it all looked innocent enough. A young single mom trying to find love and purpose in a plural marriage. But oh no, sugar, this wasn't just a love story. This was a power move. And once she got that ring, spiritual and legal, it was clear. Robyn wasn't just joining the family, she was taking over. Let's be real. Fans clocked it early on. Robyn didn't blend in, she stood out, and not in a good way. From her very first appearance, Cody's eyes lit up in a way we hadn't seen with Meri, Janelle, or Christine in years. He drove 5 hours just to court her. 5 hours. For a man who could barely find time to tuck in his other kids at night, that was a huge red flag. And suddenly, everything started shifting. Cody wasn't dividing his time evenly anymore. He was parking himself at Robyn's house like he paid rent there. Family functions? He'd show up with Robyn glued to his side like she was the first lady of polygamy. And the rest of the wives? They were left to smile through the bitterness, shrinking quietly into the background. And let's not forget the so-called spiritual justifications Cody kept preaching. He said Robyn was meant to be in the family, that she brought a new light, that she was divinely chosen. Oh, please. The only divine intervention here was Robyn's uncanny ability to cry on cue whenever things didn't go her way. Remember that infamous COVID-era meltdown? While other wives were begging Cody for fair treatment, he was holed up with Robyn, enforcing strict protocols that conveniently kept him away from Christine and Janelle for months. All in the name of safety, of course. But fans weren't buying it. Social media exploded. Reddit threads lit up. Twitter was in flames. People saw through the act. Robyn wasn't the peacemaker, she was the puppet master. And Cody? He was dancing to her tune, one sob story at a time. Even the kids started noticing. Christine's daughter, Isabel, had major surgery on her spine, and guess who didn't show up? That's right, Cody. He claimed he couldn't go because of exposure risk, yet somehow he was perfectly comfortable staying glued to Robyn's couch, watching over her kids like a devoted dad. The double standard was sickening. It was no longer about family, it was about her family. Robyn's kids got his time, his attention, his energy. The others left with crumbs. So let's call it what it is. Robyn didn't just become Cody's favorite, she became his obsession. And with each passing episode, that favoritism turned the family into a fractured house divided. Robyn may not have broken the Brown family, but honey, she sure handed Cody the hammer. It didn't happen all at once. Christine didn't just wake up one day, pack her bags, and slam the door on decades of polygamous sacrifice. No, this unraveling was slow, painful, but oh so powerful. And let's be honest, the cracks had been showing for years. We just didn't realize how deep they ran, until Christine finally had the courage to pull the thread that unraveled the entire Brown family quilt. You could see it in her eyes. Season after season. That quiet ache behind her smile. She tried, Lord knows she tried, to keep it together. To play the loyal wife. To keep believing that plural marriage was her spiritual path. But when Cody started spending every night at Robyn's, when he stopped showing up for family events, when she was left alone to raise her kids in a cold, empty home, something inside her just broke. And it was Christine's honesty that made her stand out. She stopped sugarcoating, stopped pretending everything was fine, and she talked, really talked, about the loneliness, the rejection, the realization that she was in a marriage where she wasn't even being touched. Yes, she laid it bare. In one of the most gut-wrenching moments of the show, Christine revealed that Cody told her he was no longer interested in having an intimate marriage. Let that sink in. A wife of 25 plus years, the mother of 6 of his children, and he shut down that emotional and physical bond like it was some kind of business arrangement. No love, no romance, just obligation. And Robyn? Oh, she had the audacity to act shocked, as if she hadn't watched this slow fade play out from her queen-size throne. Christine wasn't being dramatic. She was being real. And America felt it. Viewers weren't just watching a woman walk away. They were watching a woman finally stand up. Cody's reaction? Predictable, angry, defensive. He spun it as betrayal, claimed Christine was breaking the family apart, said she was being selfish. But anyone who was really paying attention knew this wasn't rebellion, it was survival. Christine didn't leave because she stopped caring. She left because she started caring about herself for the first time in decades. And that terrified Cody and Robyn because it cracked the control they'd worked so hard to maintain. And then came the glow-up. Oh yes, honey. Post-breakup Christine came alive. Her Instagram turned into a celebration. Big smiles, real laughs, new adventures, dancing in her kitchen, traveling, reconnecting with her kids. The weight of a broken marriage was gone, and it showed. Interviews revealed a woman who was finally breathing, finally seeing her worth. She didn't speak in anger, she spoke in truth. And her fans? They rallied behind her like never before. Team Christine wasn't just a hashtag, it was a movement. A collective yes girl, from women who saw their own pain reflected in hers. Christine's escape wasn't just her own, it was symbolic. A message to every woman watching that it's okay to choose you, that love shouldn't hurt, that marriage isn't supposed to make you disappear. And as Christine walked away from that toxic family culture, she walked straight into a brand new chapter, with her head high, her heart open, and her spirit finally free. Something shifted in Cody Brown after Christine left, and not in a good way. It was like watching a man unravel in real time, his perfectly curated image of the family patriarch cracking under the pressure of reality. Suddenly, he wasn't the confident, charming plural husband managing 4 wives. He was a man consumed by ego, paranoia, and control. And the deeper Christine leaned into her freedom, the harder Cody clung to his version of the truth. A version that, frankly, no one was buying anymore. It started with the interviews. Awkward, tense, and at times downright bizarre. Cody couldn't stop talking about Christine. How she betrayed the family, how she wasn't loyal, how she never really believed in plural marriage. But instead of sympathy, viewers were left raising their eyebrows. Because the more he talked, the more he exposed himself. The bitterness, the narcissism, the inability to take any accountability. Not once did he reflect on how his behavior contributed to the collapse. Nope. In Cody's mind, Christine was the villain, the traitor, the problem. And he made it his mission to make sure everyone knew it. But here's the thing. His attempts to control the narrative only made things worse. He couldn't hide behind TLC's editing anymore. Fans saw it, clear as day. The favoritism, the gaslighting, the coldness he showed toward the other wives and their kids. Especially Janelle's and Christine's children. When COVID hit, Cody used protocols like a weapon, refusing to visit homes that didn't comply with his arbitrary, ever-changing rules. And guess whose house he did keep going to? That's right, Robyn's. Week after week. No surprise there. Cody's obsession with control became so glaring, even his own kids started speaking out. Gabe and Garrison, Janelle's sons, publicly questioned their dad's priorities. They felt abandoned, rejected. And Cody? He didn't just dismiss their feelings, he exploded. He accused them of manipulation, of being disrespectful. There was a moment when he even suggested they apologize to him. Like, what? It was a masterclass in deflection. And viewers saw it for exactly what it was. A man losing his grip, and the episodes didn't lie. One minute, Cody would claim he wanted unity. The next, he'd launch into a fiery rant about loyalty and obedience. It wasn't about love anymore. It was about power. About making sure everyone stayed in line. He was no longer the glue holding the family together. He was the wedge driving them apart. And the saddest part? He couldn't even see it. In his mind, he was still the victim. Still the misunderstood hero in a drama where everyone else was just playing roles he wrote for them. By the time fans got to season 17, the Cody they once knew had all but disappeared. What remained was someone obsessed with his own image, spiraling in real time, desperately trying to rewrite the story even as it collapsed around him. And Robyn, well, she wasn't doing him any favors either. Her teary-eyed pleas and "we just want the family back together" speeches felt hollow. Because while Cody spun tales of betrayal, the truth was painfully clear. Christine didn't destroy the family. She escaped it. And Cody? He's the one who lit the match. At first, Robyn Brown had the whole sweet spirit thing down to a science. The gentle voice, the constant tears, the endless claims of just wanting the family to work. On the surface, she was the picture of a loving, misunderstood wife caught in a crumbling plural marriage. But let's be real, people started seeing through it, fast. Because there's only so many times you can cry on cue before it starts to look performative. By now, fans of Sister Wives have become fluent in Robynese. You know the script. She clutches a tissue, her voice trembles. She looks off into the distance, and she says something like, I just wish everyone could get along. It's the same speech, recycled, repackaged, and repeated. But what used to tug at heartstrings now just raises suspicion. Because while Robyn plays the victim in every conversation, the timing of her breakdowns always seems a little too convenient. especially when the spotlight's on Kody and his crumbling relationships. And let's talk about those relationships, shall we? Because if Robyn truly wanted unity, she had countless opportunities to bridge the gap between Kody and his other wives. Instead, she stayed silent, or worse, subtly fed the flames. When Janelle and Christine raised concerns, Robyn played innocent. "I don't know why they feel that way," she'd say, eyebrows arched in wide-eyed confusion. But anyone paying attention could see she wasn't just passively watching this family fall apart. She was quietly shifting the power dynamic, one calculated tear at a time. Social media? Oh, they're not buying it. Longtime viewers have taken to Reddit, Twitter, and Facebook to break down every scene, every glance, every sigh, every single moment Robyn seems to steer a conversation without actually getting her hands dirty. One post even joked that Robyn deserves an Emmy for Best Supporting Actress in a Family Meltdown. Savage? Maybe, but also kind of spot on. Even the show itself, which once painted Robyn as the last hope for harmony, has begun to pull back the curtain. The editing is subtle, but it's there. Conversations left uncut. Awkward silences left hanging in the air. You'll see Kody ranting about loyalty, while Robyn just sits there, stone-faced, saying nothing. But the silence says everything. Then, the camera cuts to Meri, or Janelle, or an old clip of Christine, and suddenly the contrast becomes crystal clear. Robyn isn't the glue, she's the wedge. And viewers notice something else too. Robyn's tears always seem to flow hardest when her comfort is threatened. Not when Christine talks about years of neglect. Not when the kids say they miss their dad. But when her life, her version of the family, begins to unravel. That's when the sobbing starts. That's when she plays the misunderstood peacemaker once again. But now, the performance is falling apart. The cracks are showing. The tears feel hollow. The excuses don't land like they used to. Because people are finally asking the one question that cuts through it all. If Robyn really wanted peace, why did everyone else end up in pieces? And the answer? Well, it's not in her words. It's in her silence. If there's one thing fans didn't see coming but are absolutely living for, it's Christine Brown's full-blown glow-up. Like, who knew the woman who once quietly endured years of emotional neglect in the shadows of plural marriage would come out swinging like this? Post-breakup Christine didn't just survive. She thrived, and honestly, it's one of the most satisfying arcs reality TV has given us in a long time. David Woolley. That's right, Christine found love again. And this time, it's with someone who sees her. Like, really sees her. Not through the lens of patriarchal expectations or spiritual duty, but as an individual deserving of affection, attention, and actual respect. And let's just say, fans couldn't be happier. From flirty Instagram posts to heartwarming family moments, Christine and David look like they're living a literal Hallmark movie. Only this time, there's no Kody monologue interrupting the happy ending. But it's not just about romance. This new chapter is Christine reclaiming her voice, her space, and her joy. Remember those confessional clips where she used to speak with hesitation, always second-guessing her feelings to keep the peace? Those days are long gone. Now she beams. Her eyes sparkle. She laughs without holding back. And maybe most telling of all, her kids are right there with her, cheering her on. The family shift is real. Several of Christine's kids, especially Peyton and Isabel, have openly supported their mom's decision to walk away. And it's not just quiet approval, it's loud, vocal, and public. Peyton has even taken to TikTok and interviews, calling out the dysfunction and defending his mom's choice to leave. That kind of loyalty? It speaks volumes. Because while Kody's grip on the family gets weaker by the episode, Christine's bond with her kids is growing stronger by the day. And the fans? Phew. They're not just watching from the sidelines. They're rooting for her like she's the heroine in a redemption saga. Online, people are constantly flooding her pages with love, encouragement, and praise. You look happier than ever. You're glowing. You're an inspiration. And honestly, they're right. Because this isn't just about leaving a toxic marriage, it's about setting an example. It's about showing that it's never too late to choose yourself. So, what does this mean for the show moving forward? Well, let's just say the whole dynamic has changed. Viewers are no longer tuning in just for the chaos, they're here for the evolution. The heartbreak was gripping, but Christine's comeback, that's what's keeping people hooked. And whether TLC continues documenting her life in future spin-offs or not, one thing is certain. Christine has become the beating heart of this franchise. Her courage, her growth, and her healing journey have redefined what Sister Wives means. In the end, this story isn't just about polygamy, betrayal, or even family drama. It's about truth, about finally seeing behind the curtain, about choosing peace over pretense. And in that choice, Christine didn't just find love, she found herself. And really, isn't that the best revenge?